welcome to Flying Wheels and part 3 of our starting over series. Now we had part 1, which is when German quit. We had part 2, which was why my business is failing. And part 3 is actually 2 months since I last shot the first 2 videos. I'm just gonna air them 1, 2, 3. Now I promise today won't be a rant, and I promise today I'm gonna try to not repeat myself. I have changed my entire business model. And a lot of you guys watch my videos because you wanna do what I do. Well, the industry is always changing. The car industry is always just evolving, and you have to evolve with it. Sometimes it's great, like it's been in the past 2 years. Sometimes things change and you have to adapt. And today I'm going to talk to you about how I adapted my business over the summer for the better, and I'm actually making more money, which is wild to think about. I'm going to tell you all my little secrets. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's get going. Okay, so welcome to my Flying Wheels YouTube channel and episode 3. I've already done my intro, so now let's get down to brass tacks and tell you what I've been doing to change my entire business model. So Craig, are you in trouble? What's going on? No, I am not in trouble. I have worked my rear off for a really long time to help set myself up. And to be quite honest with you, like I said in the last video, I am just exhausted. My family's been neglected more than they deserve, and well, that doesn't even make sense, but you know what I mean. And then I've been putting all my time and all my effort into my businesses. So a lot of people in the comment section were just saying, Craig, pay everybody more. You're making all this money. Oh, must be nice to make all this money. Guys, some of you clearly don't know what business is, because I am up at 5 a.m. and I'm asleep at midnight. If you read some of the comments that I post when I respond to you guys, it's at midnight because I'm still working, editing videos. And then I'm also taking care of my building because I have a rental property that's constantly needing work and upkeep and then maintenance and then, following up on all that stuff. And then I also have this YouTube channel that needs editing and thumbnails and just constantly videoing. And I have a few other businesses as well that I keep up on. So just because I've done well in multiple businesses does not mean that everybody should all of a sudden become a partner in my business. So a lot of comments were like, oh, you should offer partnerships. You should pay everybody more. I pay everybody really well. I've never paid minimum wage. And to be quite honest with you, I've always shared in our profits. So when we've done well, I've shared the wealth with everybody because it's because of everybody, and that's how you run a successful business. So how does that affect what's going on right now? Well, who the heck knows where our world, where our economy, where our country is going to be in the next 12 months. I was around in 2008 when everything dropped. I was around in 2009, when 2010, when no one could get loans. It was wild. And to be quite honest with you, the people with cash were the ones that thrived. The people that couldn't get loans because of interest rates were high and the banks were tightening their requirements, that was really difficult for a lot of people, which is what made the economy struggle, which is what caused the recession, which is what we're in right now. So those are the things you need to look out for. And that's why I say we need to tighten our belt, we need to cut the fat and see what we can do to cut our costs. Now my trick, and that I've always taught you guys, was keep overhead low. Now there's a couple other things that you don't understand when you're a business owner. I mean, it's so easy for people to say like, oh, share the wealth, give people partnerships, pay people more. I pay everybody as much as I can. But if I pay people more, my costs increase, which means the price of this Corolla has to increase, which means you as a consumer have to pay more for this Corolla, which you don't want to do. It's always being passed forward. So when everybody's like, oh yeah, just give everybody a raise. Yeah, give everybody a raise. Everybody should get a raise. I agree. Everybody should get paid as much as possible. But you need to find a balance, because you can't just give everybody all your money, because then you're out of business. If I have to raise the price on this Corolla and people don't come and buy this Corolla, I can't sell this Corolla, which means I can't pay commissions to the people that deserve commissions, right? Because we're not selling the car. So now everybody's affected negatively. So you need to find the balance. You go to McDonald's and you pay $9 for a Happy Meal instead of $4 for a Happy Meal. They're paying their employees more because you're paying more for the Happy Meal. So it's directly reflected to you. So it's passed on to you. You need to think of those things. Now, as far as business owners, you don't realize, like, I have $1 million worth of stuff here. Like, it's not, oh, Craig has $1 million. It's, no, I have $1 million of stuff, my money invested in stuff. I took risks, I gambled. When people say like, oh, it must be awesome to have a lake house. No. I need that lake house. We're gonna rent that lake house and we're gonna make money off that lake house because I needed the deductions. you need, as a business owner, to have deductions. So the more you make, the more you have to spend. So think of it that way. You need to find the balance of like what you can spend versus what you can keep, so you're not getting overtaxed. There's a lot to consider when you're a business owner. And the same goes for my rental properties, my commercial properties. I bought those because I needed like tax shelters. I needed to find ways to spend my money that have the appropriate deductions, so we're not just being taxed all year and giving all of our money to the government, which is then going to spend it on 86,000 IRS employees, which is then going to turn around and audit me, instead of spend that money on like maybe security guards at schools or something. But again, I'm not going to get political. It's ridiculous, and I don't want to get everybody all upset. So Craig, you're ranting. What is going on? It's been 2.5 months. Why is your mood now different than your mood in video number 2? Well, I've been doing what I enjoy. Like, I have been showing things by appointment. I have taken a step back. I was forced to take a step back, which is awesome. Like, when I don't have enough employees, I can't do it all. And it took me 2 months to find balance, because I was trying to do German's job and my admin's job and then my job and then everything else, my editing. I couldn't do it all, and it was getting even more stressed out, and it was even affecting my mental health even more. So it took me a long time to figure out that I just need to take a step back. I can only do what I can do, and I can't do more than that. If it can't get done today, it'll get done tomorrow. And that is like probably the biggest principle that I can point out, or piece of advice that I can point out to you in this video. You can't do it all. And you know what? There'll be tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Don't get stressed about it. And that's what's going on. The other thing is, like, I have basically had to dial back to how I started this business. When I started Flying Wheels, it was just me. I started in a small garage, which I've showed you in videos before, with just a few cars. Now I can buy less cars now and sell less cars and make the same amount of money, net profit, because my expenses are significantly lower now. Now, how am I doing that? Well, if you have employees, you need to pay unemployment tax and workers' comp insurances, and this is just, you pay somebody $15 an hour, it actually costs you like $25 an hour. You pay somebody $25, it costs you like $40 an hour. So think of those things. Those are other things to consider when owning a business. It is really expensive to have employees. So when you want to just give everybody raises, yeah, an employee might make 20, but it costs the employer near double for that. So how am I cutting costs? Well, this guy in there is one of those reasons. I subcontract a lot of things out. We still have our mechanic, he's doing a great job, but we subcontract a lot of the detailing out. So I'll buy a car, I'll bring it right to the detailer, or we'll have the mobile auto detailers come out to us. They take care of it for us. I leave, they get their job done, I come back, the car is clean, we put it on the lift and we get it serviced, and then I can sell it. I'm selling it myself, and I'm also saving on commissions because I'm the one selling to other people. So it saves that like few $100s per car back to me. So when I first started, I was basically showing by appointment. I was in a place where people had to call to set up appointments, and I would meet people, and you know, all hours of the day, but on my own schedule, which is really, really nice. And that's what I'm doing now. So I needed the separation between work and personal, which is what was forced on me, which has been a really, really good thing. So having that house up north, like, I can't show cars when I'm up north. If I'm home, I live 9 minutes away, somebody calls me, hey, can I see a car? Yeah, sure, I'll meet you right over there. Then they look at it, they don't buy it, they waste my time. Now, if I'm 2 hours away, I'm sorry, I can't meet you. I can meet you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before noon, if that works for you. So I set up all of my appointments for the middle of the week, and Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll work long hours. Like, I'll work like a 12 to 14 hour day, and I'll get all my work done and all my work set up. So Friday at noon, we're done. People come look at stuff, people come buy stuff, and they're gone, and then I can have a great weekend and I can start it all over again. Now, how else am I streamlining my business? Wholesale. This Tundra was sold wholesale at a dealer auction. I sold our Ferrari flip Chevy Silverado LTZ Duramax at wholesale at a dealer auction. So it's been really, really good for me to be able to sell a couple cars a week wholesale, a couple cars a week retail, having our costs and our expenses lower. It's actually been great for my mental health. I have found that separation between church and state, which is a really, really good thing. Now, I live in New Hampshire, and in New Hampshire, it's only nice for like 2.5 months. And then it gets, fall is nice but cold, and spring is muddy, and winter just sucks in general completely. For like 8 months, it's gray and nasty. So when we only have 2 months here, that's really nice. I need to enjoy it and absorb it, which is what I've been able to do by having less people. I don't have that burden on my shoulders. We're bringing enough income to make sure everyone is paid, which is really, really stressful. Now that we don't have that, I can leave. Like, I can close the doors and not worry about it. And then if somebody calls, yeah, I'll be back Tuesday. I'll set you up then. Which brings me to my next point. I have 2 cars today that people are picking up. A 2011 GMC Yukon and a BMW. And I also have all my extra parts stuff out here. I had a 5th wheel tow hitch that I bought brand new, didn't need it, let it sit, someone else needs it, they're coming to look at it today, and I'll actually make a profit on it, which is really, really cool. Monday night I came home from my lake, I had set somebody up to look at my camper, we sold our camper, we made a profit on that. So I'm working, and I have that separation for personal life, which is really, really good and really important. So you'll see here, I actually have my helper right here. Remember, male end into the female end, right there.
How did you do that so easily?
Right, practice. He's checking the tire pressure for me, he's checking the fluids for me. This is prep because the car is sold. Now, I showed this car to somebody last week. They had to get themselves financed, they wanted to use their own credit union. I set themselves up for today because I knew I'd be here. So today's Friday, it's Friday morning. They're about a half an hour away. So now the car's prepped, they're gonna show up with a check. That can ultimately finish our day. I can close my shop early and head up north from there because I set my day up by appointment and everything's working out like on time. Now, another question he asked, unrelated to business, is, Dad, why are you washing the engine? Well, simple explanation is people buy with their eyes. A lot of people have no idea what they're looking at when they look at an engine. They don't know what to look for, but if they open the hood and they see clean plastic and a clean battery, they go, oh, what a brand new battery. Oh, it's clean, it looks like it's been taken care of. They don't know what they're looking for. They just open it up. If it's clean, it's good for them. It's a first impression that's positive. If they look at it and it's dirty, then, well, maybe it hasn't been taken care of so well. And it's a lack on my end anyway. The engine should be clean when we're detailing the entire car. All the way, and now let go.
I can't.
Pull it down, shove it in, then let go. You're doing this. All right, check the tire pressure. So here's what I did with this truck. Now, like I said, I showed it last week and I set them up for today at noon. I came in at 10, I washed it, I checked fluids, we're checking tire pressure, I drove it, I put fuel in it, I cleaned the inside, I checked the emissions, like make sure all the emission systems are good. That way the customer shows up and it's better than it was when he looked at it last week. That way there's no objections. He looks at it, he goes, oh, looks even nicer than it did a week ago. All right, let's sign the paperwork. He's gone. I don't have to sell it to him twice. And I set him up by appointment. He's gonna be here at noon, which is amazing. Oh, you'll see here, customer just showed up with their Town and Country. They're trading that in. So now I'm selling a car. I'm taking a car in trade. I have my auto detailer over there, which I'm subcontracting out to them. I can give them the van while I'm gone. So I'm gonna be gone all weekend and they can take care of the van for me. I get back, that van's clean. And then I can put it on the lift, get it inspected, do all the repairs, and then list it for sale without ever really having to do much like dirty work myself. And just like that, Yukon is gone, Town and Country is traded into us, and we have a nice fat check.
A few minutes later.
Just like that, bing bang boom, buyers are here for the BMW, they're taking off. Check out that Lotus right there, a guy in town drives by like that all the time. Just like that, the BMW's almost gone. Check out the car behind me and these cars behind me. That one's going to North Carolina for everybody to watch that video. But I really want to show you something else. This sign right here. Summer hours, all days by appointment. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to Monday closed. I'm willing to come in early. I'm willing to stay late if it needs to. All based around my schedule too, which has worked out really well. You might actually see this guy too. You've been seeing him more in some videos. My oldest son is helping out. He's learning the craft, he's learning the trade. Actually, he's working really, really hard and getting his hands dirty. Look at those hands. Yes, that is a life lesson right there. Look at, even your face is filthy. So I have him helping me out too because, you know, good help is hard to find. And I'm trying to teach him how to work hard, earn money, so he's not just asking me for money all the time. And talking about going 100 miles an hour and never stopping, this shop has gotten gross. When I bought this building 7 years ago, I gutted it. I took everything out. I painted the walls, the ceiling, the floors, epoxy coated the floor. This thing was a brand new garage when I moved in 7 years ago, and we have not even stopped to smell the roses. So slowing down like was needed, because now like, I was embarrassed to show you guys the inside of this garage. It shouldn't look like that. And you can see like we've taken some time today to start organizing and cleaning. And I'm gonna take next week to like start cleaning the floors out and bringing this thing back to life. I want this to be shiny and clean and nice again. and it just hasn't been because we're always moving. So let me summarize, because I don't want this to go on too long like all my videos do, because I can talk to nobody forever and ever. I needed a change. I didn't do that. I worked my butt off because, like I said, that faucet was running and the water was on. People were just spending money. So I took that money as long as I could until I couldn't take it any longer. And I was forced to slow down, not even by myself. So once again, I thank German for making this happen, because I don't think I would have done it. And I had to step back and bring it back. Like, I've gone back years, and it's been a good thing because I've needed it. Not that I don't want German here. I want German here. I do need the help, but I needed to mentally slow down, and I needed to be shown to mentally slow down and focus on what's important. And when I focused on what was important, and it helped me find my balance, which didn't happen right away. It took almost a month and a half for me to find my balance, slow my mind down mentally, so I'm not always 100 miles an hour type A anymore, which I think I still am, but I'm trying to work on that. And I can focus on, like, there are cars that just have been sitting for a long period of time, and you know what? I'll get to it. That Honda needs to be painted. If it can't be painted right now, it'll get painted when I can paint it. But I'm focusing on what's important. I'm focusing on what sells. I'm focusing on my personal time and separating my business and myself. I'm focusing on things that I enjoy doing. And by taking a step back, I have essentially started over it, reassessed, slowed down, cut my costs, and weird to say, but made more money with less stress. And I'm gonna finish with two last things. I spoke to a dealer a few years ago, probably a decade ago, an old guy, and he said this to me. He works by himself. And at the time, I was just getting into the business, and I just wanted to go 1,000,000 miles an hour and scale my business and grow and have employees and have 100 cars and just keep going, which isn't wrong. If that's you, dude, do it. That's not me, though. And at the time, that's what I thought I needed. And this one guy who was old and had been doing it his entire life, he said, how much money do you need? Do you really need a ton of employees? The more cars you have, the bigger the building you have, the more you need to spend. Why do you need to sell 5 million a year? Why can't you just sell 1 million a year and be happy? Why can't you just make 100 grand or 200 grand? Why do you have to make 500 grand? And he's right. He did it by himself with no headaches and maybe just a helper here and there. And he was in his 60s and did it his whole life, brought up a family, found the balance. And listening to the wisdom from somebody who's been doing it a long time was really important. And I never really paid attention to that until just now when it hit me, and it makes sense. The last thing I'm gonna do is leave you with a story. It's a boy fishing offshore at the beach trying to catch fish in the middle of the day. High tide, not catching anything. He had multiple fishing lines out and just nothing's happening. He's sweating in the sun, just killing himself, and nothing's biting. Along comes an old man and says, son, why are you fishing right now? What are you doing? And he says, well, I'm trying to catch some fish to feed my family, but nothing's biting. I'm working so hard and nothing's happening. And the old man gave him a piece of advice and said, son, come back when the water's going out, when the tide's going out. It stirs up everything and then the fish come to feed. That's when you want to fish. Boy comes back later as the tide's rolling out, throws out some lines, and he just keeps reeling in fish. Why? Because he worked smarter. He timed everything correctly, and when the timing was right, he took advantage. I don't want to be casting multiple lines when the fish aren't biting, which is what we're heading towards, I think. I want to cast my line when it counts. I want to have my time to myself. I've saved my money. I recommend everybody else start saving their money too, because cash is going to be king when things change. Now, as far as YouTube goes, I love making videos. I love interacting with you guys in the comments sections. I'm going to start improving my channel with the editing. I'm going to start improving my channel with live streams. I'm going to listen to you more because I have more time to myself to dedicate to it, and I can focus on actually doing things on my own. A lot of times I've been like delegating and not really showing you the things that I wanted to, and I started to lose track on my YouTube channel as well. And I brought myself back. So I'm going back to the basics of what I did on my YouTube channel, what I did with the dealership. I mean, just like 2019, 2020, 2021 just was so wild. Everything went off track. Now I'm focused, I'm harnessed, I'm grounded, and I'm back. And things are improving because I took that break, which was really great. You'll see that thing behind me. Sneak preview. Sneak preview, don't look at that one. You've already seen that one. There's a Fiero over there. That right there is a Ferrari flip video. Next week, back to the basics. Ferrari flip videos, and I'm gonna do a lot of how-tos and some cool stuff coming up with some great content. And here we are, ready for the lake. All because of good planning. Here we go, boat hair don't care. We are on the boat because I did what I needed to do. I work between 12 and 16 hours a day, a couple days a week. We get to spend the rest of the time on the water like this with our family. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. If it was at all entertaining, informative, or educational, do me a favor, hit a thumbs up. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Adios.